We're focused on bringing the company into production through the oil and gas project that was recently acquired through Eternal Resources in the Gulf of Mexico in the next drilling season of 2013 and 2014. That should provide the company with some production revenue during that season as well. We're currently completing a work program over our assets in the Gulf, and importantly we're completing that over all 4 leases, whereas in the past Eternal had only completed assessment and an initial assessment over the first lease that we acquired. This complete set of work will identify prospects and leads over all 4 leases, and that will lead us to identify the most appropriate drilling target for this first campaign of drilling. We're going to drill during the next Gulf of Mexico drilling season. We would expect that successful drilling where we encounter hydrocarbons and produce hydrocarbons will be able to be tied back into production through available infrastructure in the area during the same season, so the first half of 2014. The mineral assets are still important to Aziana. That was where the company was founded some 8 years ago, which subsequently resulted in a listing in 2011. And following on from there, quite a lot of exploration work by Aziana. Now, there are 3 priority projects in Madagascar that the company still owns and is pushing forward towards commercialisation. Those being the Manantanina bauxite project, where we have an inferred JORC resource of 10.09 million tonnes, with scalability, we believe, running up towards 160 million tonnes. We have the Anisovola copper-gold moly project, where we've identified a large strike area of several kilometres in length over widths of identified mineralisation of 6 to 10 metres. So they're the 2 priorities, but also in the background is the graphite project that Aziana has in Madagascar, being the Belenitra project. Of note, and importantly of recent note, is Saratoga Resources. Saratoga have just completed 2 wells some 11 kilometres to the northeast of us in a depositionally similar area to where the Sleeping Tiger and Raging Bull assets and leases are located. Those 2 wells have both been successfully drilled through to production. The first well, the Rocky well, came on at 600 barrels of oil a day and is tied back into production. And the second well, which was announced on the production of the second well, which was announced on the 11th of September 2013, has tested at some 330 barrels of oil equivalent per day. So within a month you can see that drilling in Breton Sound has produced 2 wells that cumulatively have produced near on 1,000 barrels of oil a day for that producer. Immediately to the south is the Main Pass Block 35 field, which was drilled out by Chevron and Shell in the 1950s and 60s. That is still a producing field. It's produced over 100 million barrels of oil, and our acreage abuts that field. So all in all, we're in a very prospective area for production, both with recent drilling activity and drilling activity of a significant nature in the past. Well, the investment upside is will come through early production in the Gulf of Mexico. Importantly, and it's worth noting that on our leases there has been previous drilling, and that drilling was all done on 2D seismic. None of it utilised modern 3D seismic, which is what we now have, which is what we're now re-evaluating and assessing to create our prospects and leads inventory. So through that we feel like we're past the exploration stage, we're more at the appraisal and development stage because of that previous drilling. Now, some of the targets that we'll approach on the leases have actually been intersected by previous drilling by the likes of Chevron in the past. However, that drilling, or the location of that drilling wasn't in optimal positioning. So in one case, we've identified that a drill, where they drilled was off flank and down dip of a structure that still remains intact, and that's showing some 200 to 350 feet of up dip relief. So that's a significant opportunity for the company to approach. So really the upside is that we are looking at this as an appraisal and development project rather than as a exploration project. So we're more advanced than what people may think we are. We're simply going about this in a very professional, technical and methodical way to get to the point where we de-risk shareholders as much as we possibly can before we actually apply their capital.